Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. How are you guys doing? Well, it's a new week for all of us that have to work and all of us that actually are doing something that we love. I am very lucky to call myself one of those lucky ones that I'm doing what I love, guys. As you all know, I'm the owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, and we have a lot of training to do this month, getting ready for a new tournament or a new event, USA Boxing Sanction event in Homestead, Florida. We're getting ready our guys to compete in that special event, and I'm looking forward to it. But yes, I have a full week of training and work ahead of me, and I thank God for giving me the health and the opportunity of doing what I love. And I hope you guys are doing what you love too. You know, that is very important in this life, is actually enjoying what you do. And at least if you're not enjoying what you do, you know, you're being, like my grandfather used to say, el trabajo honra, he used to say. So it doesn't matter what kind of work you do. It's actually honorable to be working and to achieve your goals, personal goals and life goals by you know, the effort and the sweat that you put into your work on a daily basis. So we got a full week ahead of us. God bless you all, guys. I really hope you have an excellent week and you can achieve all those personal goals that you have. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the future for Matias, the future for Matias after Paro. And I know a lot of people don't want to get ahead of themselves. You know, I'm not taking Paro lightly at all. I know Paro is a force to be reckoned with. I know that Matias got to be concentrated and have to be focused on this next fight, which is a very important fight for him and his career. He needs to achieve victory by any means against Paro, a very sound, fundamentally sound boxer that is going to be in his own backyard in Puerto Rico, fighting to try to take away the title of Matias, champion of the world, IBF champion of the world, Matias, el monstruo y el orgullo de Maternillo. So, if we look past Paro, all right, and I know, like I just said right now, we don't want to do that, but let's just focus on what seems to be something that is going to happen. I'm looking at this fight as a test, yes, but at the same time, I'm seeing that Matias, due to the facts that I have explained in previous episodes, and now, you know, be redundant to mention them again. You know, the power, the strength, the volume of punches, you know, the ability of taking all these shots. You know, Matias, you know, relentless type of fighter. Paro has never fought anybody like that can dish out 80 to 100 punches per round, somebody that comes forward constantly, you know, all these factors that I have already spoken about. If we look past that and the fact that I see Matias stopping Paro within 7 rounds, and if that happens, that would be great for Matias' career. Who comes next? That is my question for this episode. Who comes next? All right. We already know what happened with Richardson Hitchens and his fight with Gustavo Lemos. You know, he got his ass whooped. He got a gift decision, and he should be fighting Matias next for the IBF championship, because that fight against Lemos was a title eliminator fight. And you know, surprisingly or not surprisingly to some of us, Richardson Hitchens says he had to go back to the drawing board and try to fight a couple of more fights until he can challenge Matias or any other champions, like he said, for a title fight. All right, so you know, what he really was saying is that no way in hell is going to be able to beat Matias. And he got a rude awakening that night against Lemus, a fighter that fights similarly to Suriel Matias, you know, volume puncher, a guy that comes forward all the time, pressure fighter. And it totally overwhelmed him, and he had no answer to. All right, so imagine somebody that Matias that's 10 times stronger and faster and at another level than Gustavo Lemos. All right, guys. So that's not gonna happen. Richardson Hitchens not gonna happen. That fight, you know, he pulled out of that title eliminator reward, which was fighting Matias. He pulled out of that, you know, came up with all kinds of excuses, IBF, rehydration clause, all these other shit. Who else is there? Devin Haney got his ass whooped. All right. So that was an opportunity for Suriel Matias. You know, Bill Haney's been talking a lot of crap, you know, prior to his fight with Ryan Garcia. And talking about, you know, all the offers they've made Suriel, and Suriel had priced himself out. Later on, that was debunked. You know, the whole saga, the whole drama with Bill Haney, Devin Haney's dad, that also seemed like something that could happen after Devin Haney beating Ryan Garcia, if that would happen. But the script was switched. You know, everything turned on its head with Ryan Garcia victory. Now we all know that there might have been some PEDs, and you know, there's a lot of controversial information out there. I'm not going to get into that. But regardless, Devin Haney got whooped, you know, and I really doubt that Devin Haney would be the next opponent for Suriel Matias. Actually realizing, just like Richardson Hitchens, that he is not up to par to fight somebody like that. So I'm pretty sure Bill Haney is going to take another route. He's going to take a stay busy fight with somebody that they think they can beat, but they will try to stay away from Suriel Matias as much as possible. All right, so that's out. Now, there's two other options, in my opinion, and there might be more. All right, there might be more because, you know, some of these guys, they talk the talk, but at the time when it comes to push and shove, they rather you know, talk all kinds of crap and not show any actions. All right, so the next guy that talked a lot of crap, that said that Puerto Ricans are easy to beat, that Suriel Matias was nobody until he started talking about him, as you all know, and you might know by now who I'm referring to, is Teofimo Lopez, the only champion ever to come out of Honduras. The only ever boxing champion to come out of Honduras who was not born in Honduras, who was actually born in the States, whose dad, I believe, I don't know if he was born there or was raised in the States. I don't know what the deal is, but he's like a second or third generation North American, born in USA, but was not born in Honduras. All right, so this guy's more American than anything else. So the only champion ever to come out of the country of Honduras, talking all this smack about, you know, Puerto Ricans are easy and all this other shit. Look at the record, look at all the Puerto Rican greats, and you tell me Puerto Ricans are easy. He's a blabbermouth. Him and his dad, they both, you know, they talk a lot of crap, but at the time when they're supposed to show the world what they're made of, they actually fold. We've seen him fight twice. His last two fights with Sandor Martin, he lost. With Jermaine Ortiz, he lost, and he got gifted decisions. So we saw all the holes in his game. The holes in his game: poor footwork, no ability to cut off the ring, no ability to fight technical fighters, guys that move out a lot, got dropped several times against Sandor Martin. You know, this guy's stock has plummeted. All right, but still, the likes of some of these commentators, you know, like Chris Algieri, think Teofimo Lopez is the greatest or the best 140-pounder out there. You know, this guy's delusional. He was proven wrong, and by his last 2 fights, how he was easily dominated by technical fighters. All right, now a fight between Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez declared after fighting these 2 guys, you know, Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz, the following thing. He goes, well, I'd rather fight with somebody that comes forward and stays there and doesn't, you know, run around all night. All right, now who else but Suriel Matias can fit that description, fit that bill? You know, Suriel Matias is a come forward fighter. He's somebody that you're not going to have to chase. It's going to be right in front of you. He's going to go toe to toe. So why not Suriel Matias? So let's wait for that one. I don't know if Teofimo Lopez has already signed some kind of a fight. I know he was going to fight, I think, Clackett or some shit like that. I don't remember the guy's name, but it was nobody, a guy that nobody ever heard of. And apparently that he got so much criticism that he's actually thinking about getting another stay busy fight with another you know, opponent, a better opponent than this guy. But all in all, I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Teofimo Lopez put his money where his mouth is and face Suriel Matias. And I know a lot of you fans out there, a lot of the Suriel Matias fans, and a lot of those hardcore, knowledgeable fans would love to see this fight because of the controversy and all the statements and the things that Teofimo Lopez has said about Puerto Rican, Suriel Matias, and so forth. So there's a little bit of personal issue there that has to be resolved between both of these fighters. I don't think that Teofimo Lopez wants to go that way. He's going to continue coming with excuses, talking a lot of crap. This guy makes no sense when he's talking, when he's being interviewed. So I don't know if he's got a screw loose or something, or, you know, or that's just the way he is. But I really doubt that Teofimo Lopez, and I hope I'm wrong, will face Matias after the Paro fight. All right, so we got one guy left. We got one guy left at 140. All right, top guys. I'm referring to top guys. There's a lot of guys, B-level and others, you know, contenders that are up-and-comers that could fight Suriel Matias if none of these guys do. But the last guy I want to talk about is a fighter that just won. It's recently been crowned as a world champion. I believe it is the WBA, if I'm not mistaken, championship. He was able to defeat so-called champion, a guy that got gifted a title by the WBA organization, and I'm referring to Rolly Romero. All right, was the champion and was given the mandatory, or the opponent was placed in a silver platter for Pito Cruz, Rolly Romero, who in my opinion should have never been a champion, who in my opinion you know, got a gift from the referee when he fought Ismael Barroso. Ismael Barroso should have been the person that fought Rolly Romero for that championship, and got passed over and was gifted 135 pounder, a guy that's never fought 140 pounds, a gift. And I'm talking about Pito Cruz. Isaac Pito Cruz should have never got that title shot. Should have never got the title shot. So for all those guys that are, you know, fanatics and, you know, building all those murals and idols in Mexico, talking about the face of boxing, Mexican face of boxing, Pito Cruz. Pito Cruz has fought nobody. Nobody, all right? Fought a one-handed Tank Davis, lost against a one-handed Tank Davis, fought a tomato can in Rolly Romero, who should have never been the champ, and now he's all that, all right? He's fighting Rayo Valenzuela next, and Rayo Valenzuela is no pushover. I believe Rayo Valenzuela can give him a good, really, really good fight and might be able to beat him. All right, I don't see anything special, guys. I don't see anything special in Pito Cruz. Nothing. He's a midget. He's 5'4". He's had the high guard. All right, he comes in, he throws, you know, overhands, you know, power punches, you know, swinging for the fence every single punch. All right, telegraphing those punches. You know what's coming. All right, so I don't see any great technical ability of Pito Cruz. I truly believe he's not an elite fighter. He might be B- or C+ type of fighter. I believe Pito Cruz is an easy to beat individual. Like I said before, I don't think he's you know, championship caliber. All right. So Pito Cruz, his dad has been interviewed, and his dad has mentioned all the people he wants to pay. He wants to, you know, his son to face next, and they're already building that that pathway, so that Pitbull has the easy path, the easier path into superstardom and making a lot of money. And since he's got that huge Mexican fan base, he can follow the Canelo route and fight all the easy opponents, you know, and hold that title as long as he can. But if he faces somebody like Matias next, after the Rayo Valenzuela, if he is able to defeat Rayo Valenzuela, which is very doubtful, which is, you know, it's not an easy fight for Pito Cruz. So all those guys are thinking that Pito Cruz is just going to breeze through Rayo Valenzuela. They're going to be in shock, because that's not the way I see it, guys. This could go 12 rounds. It could be 12 hard-fought rounds, and Pito Cruz could be hurt because Rayo can bang. So if he gets past Rayo, let's say he gets past Rayo, and depending on how he looks against Rayo Valenzuela, we might see the opportunity for Matias and Pito Cruz to try to unify that title. There's got to be a unification fight in a 140-pound division. Everybody's taking their own paths and trying to avoid Matias. And people say, oh, Matias is not the boogeyman. It's not the boogeyman, blah, blah, blah. It's not the boogeyman, but everybody, they're calling him the boogeyman because nobody wants to fight him. All right? What is the definition of boogeyman? Somebody you're afraid of, right? Somebody you're scared of. Somebody you don't want to see. That's the definition of boogeyman. So none of these guys, Ryan Garcia is not mentioning, you know, Matias. Teofimo Lopez hasn't said anything about Matias. Devin Haney, after his loss, you think he's going to say something about Matias? No. You know, Pito Cruz, you know, on his interview, when asked directly about Matias, he said, yeah, I'll fight him if the negotiations go right, blah, 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 blah. All right? So none of these guys say, I want Matias next. And I'm talking about the 140-pounders, 140-pound champions, so-called champions, all right? So, again, that is one fight that I would love to see. I think that that's the fight where Pito Cruz would not last 5 rounds, guys. He's a midget. He's 5'4". He telegraphs his punches. All he has is those overhand, you know, winging shots that he throws with ill intent, you know. And against somebody like Matias, you know, it takes a lot to telegraph those punches. It takes a lot of time for you to connect. Matias will be able to connect 2 or 3 punches, hard punches, against the little midget, you know, the little Chihuahua, Pito Cruz, and get him out of there, guys. I think Pito Cruz is overrated. I don't think he belongs at a 140-pound division against a real 140-pounder. And remember, all these guys that are so-called champions at a 140-pound division, they all come from 135. None of them are original 140-pound fighters. You know, the only person that's been fighting at that weight class for the last 12 years is Matias. He's always fought at 140. Just like Marvin Hagler always fought at 160. He never went up in weight. You know, he fought at 160. He defended his title a whole bunch of times. He was one of the best 160 pounders, middleweight champions of all time. All right. So that is that one. All right. And then Regis Prograis has mentioned some things out there about, you know, fighting Subriel Matias next, but then he has to have 2 tune-up fights before he goes Matias. So I think he's talking a lot of crap. So again, guys, we're in that limbo, in that twilight zone where Matias has demonstrated by the actions of all of these other champions that he is the real boogeyman, that everybody is afraid of him, that nobody wants to fight him, that nobody wants to put their money on the line, their name on the line, they're John Hancock on the contract and fight Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias is willing to fight anybody. He's not afraid of anybody. And like he said, Subriel Matias has mentioned, you know, on actually to his trainer, J. Pandarajar, he said, I rather die in the ring than be defeated. I'm willing to give my life in the ring instead of being defeated. And he said that regarding his upcoming fight against Paro. Subriel Matias is a throwback fighter, guys. Subriel Matias is the real deal. It's no hype job. It's not no bullshit artist like all these other guys who talk a lot of shit. Modern fighters are shit talkers. The Tank Davises of the world, the Ryan Garcias of the world, the Teofimo Lopez of the world, the Devin Haney, they're all shit talkers. When Matias says something, you better believe what he's saying he means. So, guys, you know, let me know what you guys think. Who do you think Subriel Matias is going to fight out of all these guys? Is it going to be one of these Dominican fighters who are also talking a lot of crap, who are not even ranked? That's not beneficial for Matias' career. He's got 2 or 3 more years left. Subriel Matias is a 32-year-old fighter. He wants to be able to achieve his dream, which is to unify that title, fight against some of these so-called champions. They don't want to face him because he's too dangerous. And I'm going to tell you something. If he defeats Paro, like I think he will, destroying him, it's going to be harder for Matias to get a fight. So he's got you know, he's between a rock on a hard place, Subriel Matias, you know, because if he wins by stoppage, destroying his fighter, nobody will want to fight him. And even if he loses, he's screwed. Nobody will fight him then. So it's a lose-lose situation for Subriel Matias. Hopefully, Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing will be able to promote him a little bit more. He's not promoting Subriel Matias at all. You sign somebody, you got to promote this fighter. This guy's an exciting fighter, somebody that the whole world wants to see. He's got fan base all over the world, not only Puerto Ricans, guys. Everybody loves to see Subriel Matias fight. So let's see what happens, guys. But remember to like, share, subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 subs. Remember, if you watch this show, just click on that like button. Please click on that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be reminded when a new episode of Inside the Ropes comes along. But until next time, this is Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, here with another episode of Inside the Ropes, saying hasta la vista. God bless you all and peace.